Welcome to the third episode of the Out on Loan podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeffrey Canova, joined by, I'm just not even going to say my Bangladesh brother anymore. That's just so repetitive now. I'm just going to call you mi hermano, mi hermano, Aritra. I see that you copied my other brother, Kobe Gaines's, banners at the bottom of your guys' names. You mind explaining your phrase investments from the past?
Well, it's a direct reference to one of Jose Mourinho's iconic press conferences that he has, and this is the one where he was sort of going on rant about Man United players, and in order to succeed, it's not just like a
Like me from the episode
temporary.
two, like me.
Correct. It's not just like a
Yeah,
1 year, 2 year plan. It's investments from the past. It's past investments that's gonna
love the accent.
show the future success of the club. That's what it's gonna depend on. And yeah, after the very passionate conversation that we had last episode, I thought, you know what, it's a good reminder of this phrase, of this quote, because there's a very few things that Jose is wrong about, and this is definitely not one of them. He called it, and that's something that we need to rely on, not just in football, but in life.
Okay. You know who's not in a great investment. So far it hasn't been Bruno. And shout out to any of TikTok creators out there or Instagram Reel
Man,
creators, United fans. Um, I'm not alone on this. I'm not alone. If you
yeah,
literally search up Man United,
yeah, it's only Mark Goldbridge that's supporting you.
no, you're wrong. You're
Mm-hmm,
completely wrong. No,
mm-hmm,
there's been a lot of fans that have been on
mm-hmm.
Bruno's head these last few years.
Super reactionary, superbly reactionary.
No, they're not reactionary. They use common sense. They should have sold them last year. You should have
Mm,
sold them when you had the opportunity for money and
mm-mm.
get a new player. Maybe get a Sharky in there. I don't know. Maybe invest in Nico
Turkey,
Paz.
bro. Turkey wants to
Sharky.
kill us, bro. Did you not see the quote about? Like we gave him like probably like lifelong trauma after that Lyon game. Bro really said after signing with Man City, I want to kill Manchester United. I'm like, bro, okay,
Where did you get that news? I want to read that.
bro. Like
Where did you
like
get that
Fab
from?
like Fab posted it. Like it's like on one of his. I don't know if it was the press conference or if it was like some like interview, but hey, it's a real quote. So check it out.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to read that because I've never. I mean, probably some Barca players here and there. Probably some those crazy derbies there in Argentina or in Brazil or really in South America where the intensity levels is just insane. But yeah, I think transitioning into our first kind of segment is going to be Prem again. Obviously, we didn't have enough time yesterday to recap all the Premier League games, but obviously, we're not going to go one by one. Maybe the more
Yeah.
important ones, and one of those being Arsenal's 5-0 win and demolition over Leeds United. Victor Gokres, who I've not to the extent of a Sesko signing. I was like, he's a good player, obviously. He's an elite talent. I mean, he's been scoring 40 goals, and I know the Portuguese league isn't really like that. It's not like the Premier League where he's scoring 20 in the Prem or 20 in La Liga or even in Serie A, for example. But he's still a player that was scoring in the Champions League. I mean, he scored those 2 goals against City, and he finally put a stamp on his name. He put a stamp. Like he scored 2 goals. I believe it was his second goal. It was the one goal where he came in from the left. He used his pace, came in, cut it to his left, to his right, and then put it into like the near post finish, which was for me one of my favorite goals that I like seeing players score because it just takes so much pace and like decision making because you can either turn it to the other post or then you can go far post or near post and literally put it at the bottom post. Saka as well. He had a great performance, scored an amazing goal, and he just 5-0. I mean, you had to do what you had to do. Like they did what United didn't do, which is like you have to smoke these small opponents and put them out, and that's what they did. But I think the main talking point and this has been a trend that we've been seeing a lot in football, and I think this is going to be the Lamine Yamal. And I know I'm probably glazing this kid so much, which is not good for me because I'm a Madrid fan. But look, I'm a football fan too, and I like soccer. So, you notice I use soccer as well, just so any people who have the problem with me saying soccer or football. Tomato, tomato. It doesn't matter. It's the same sport at the end of the day. But
Right.
going back to Lamine, I mean, this is the effect that he's probably going to have for the next generation of kids who show confidence, composure, quality, and I guess IQ as well, if you want to say it. Because in Arsenal's game, we saw Max Darwin. You want to know how old he was, Aritra, or you want to, if you know, say
15.
it
He
out?
was 15 years old.
15. 15, Aritra.
Bro,
What were you doing at 15?
I was starting high school when I was 15, man.
I was getting.
I met you when I was 15, man.
We met when we were 15, and I was
Yeah.
probably like 230, 240 pounds. You know, just trying to make a name for myself in high school, not really just trying to find my group because what were we like in freshman year? And we got this kid who comes into the game and just forces a penalty. And that penalty was for Gyökeres, which was, I believe, Gyökeres' second goal, actually. It was a penalty that Gyökeres scored. But
yeah, it was in the dying
this
minutes
is the
of
trend
game.
this is the trend that a lot of people nowadays, especially football fans, are just going to see. Because I think now a lot of teams and managers be like, okay, if we have a kid in the academy who has that potential and that talent, we're going to put him in. We're going to put them in because they have that quality. Now, football has changed so much where, diet's changing. I guess even mindsets, because, it's also the thing about football is I said about Lamine, it's all about mindsets. So we're just going to probably just see another trend of more of these 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds just starting to get more minutes. I mean, you saw it with Franco yesterday, 18-year-old, second game, boom, came in and, started for Madrid. You got Max, and I think Arsenal still got more players. United is probably going to bring a 16 or 17-year-old that's probably going to be important, like Kobe Mainu. You saw it with Gavi with Barca.
Yeah, we actually have a 14-year-old that Amarim has. He's been putting him in the starting squad. I mean, not starting squad, like with the training squad for like starters and bench players. I think his name is JJ Gabriel. He's only 14. He turns 15 next year.
He's 14.
And he's already training with first team. Who knows? We might even see him like sometime next year.
Play.
Like, dude, insane.
Who's to say maybe a 14? I want to know, will we ever see a 13-year-old make an appearance in the Prem? Could that happen? Insane. Could that happen? Could we see a 13-year-old actually make his professional debut in one of these major leagues? Could it happen? I'm waiting for that day because I remember when the 15-year-old came in, I was like, whoa. Like, wow. Like a 15-year-old is starting to play in the Liga, playing against Madrid. I forgot, it was an Argentinian. I don't remember his name, but came in at 15 and he got literally tackled by Ramos in like the first 3 minutes, which is insane. But no, I think this is the trend that we're going to see. I think a lot of coaches are just going to put more confidence into those youngsters, and it's whether or not they're going to make a name for themselves. And I think part of it is coming down to Lamine's greatness. There's Michael Jordan who inspired, that mentality. Kobe who continued passing that torch. LeBron with the triple doubles and the all-around playing ability. James Harden with the step backs. You have Messi's with the left foot and the free kicks. You have Ronaldo's and the headering abilities. There's always that trademark of their greatness. And I think for Lamine, it's just, I'm going to pave the way for these kids to, get their opportunity, especially if they deserve it. They have the talent and they have the IQ to, pull that off. So, and I think we're just going to see that trend for the next few years. And I'm waiting for the 13-year-old to make his debut. I believe there's going to be a 13-year-old that's going to actually like start a game. At least 13 or 14-year-old, which I would
14,
be like
14
wow.
for sure. Probably, I don't know, could be in the 5 years.
13 maybe
next decade.
In 5 years. And whoever that is, salute to you.
Dude, that kid might not even be born yet, or maybe he's born this year. That 13-year-old.
You're right. He might. Like, you're right. Which is insane. And we're gonna be like in our 30s, just like talking about him, like, oh yeah, dude, you see that new 13-year-old kid, like who's just killing it on like the wing for Brentford or like for Barca. So
we're gonna be like pushing our kids, like, hey, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking like, dude. Yeah. No, that's why Project Mbappe is on the start. Project Lamine Yamal is like, once the kid's born, once I get the kid, Project Lamine on the board.
Put those boots on. Get him on the training pitch.
Training, watching film, IQ. Get them all, make them read the Kobe Bryant book just so that mentally he can, have that confidence to. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Getting that Mamba mentality in.
Get him in, and boom, training every day, but also balance it out because we also don't want to, we don't want to put him as a slave either. We want him to enjoy his life too. We're not that bad.
For sure.
We're not gonna be that. Sure. I don't think we're that bad. We wouldn't be that bad of a parents, right?
I don't think so. I think we're gonna be great dads, great uncles.
I think so too. Right? Then maybe they'll take over the Out and One podcast. What do you think?
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love to talk ball, bro.
Yeah, for sure. With our kids, that's what you live for. But other results, yesterday we talked about the one London team in Tottenham. Today we're going to talk about two others. We already got done with Arsenal. Now we're going to go with Chelsea. One of the favorites to win the league this year, and understandably so. They smoked PSG. Smoked them. What was it? 3-0 in the first half? I don't even remember the score because I turned it off right after. Especially when Trump got on the stage and started thinking like he was part of the celebration, which for me that's still one of the craziest things I've ever seen in football. Like a controversial figure like that to be on the stage and celebrating, and you had all the players trying to get out the way, move, or what is he doing there? But yeah, I mean, Chelsea were one of the favorites, and today I have a friend of mine who will hopefully get on the show. Shout out to you, Frank Barrios. He told me, I said, I think City's going to win the league. I still firmly believe that. But he was like, dude, Chelsea's going to do it. Chelsea's going to win it. Chelsea's going to win the league. I said, I don't know. I still think maybe next year if they continue going on this run where, they get the right players in, the right manager, the consistency as well of staying in the league. I mean, not staying in the league, but winning and just getting these results. Then, yeah, maybe next year we'll see him. But I think for now, 5-1. And yeah, I mean, another youngster that we have to talk about was William Estevao. I mean, have you heard? You definitely heard about it, right?
Palmeiras.
Before he went to Chelsea, Palmeiras. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him. We saw Franco and we went to go watch that River Plate versus Monterrey game. But the other youngster that was killing it right there, who was making his big move, was William Estevao. And obviously, I think Palmer before that game he got injured, so we didn't get to see much. William just took his opportunity, and I think he did well. I think he got I think he was one of their best players, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But no, again, going back to the conversation about these youngsters, I mean, he came in, looked confident. Pedro Neto, João Pedro, Caicedo, Chalaba, all scored.
That kid, I remember watching him with Brighton 2 years ago. I think I even had him on my fantasy team too, on the bench, and then
you did.
I did, yeah, bro. 2 years ago was the first time I did EPL fantasy. Had him on my bench. Wasn't getting as consistent, minutes as I would have liked, but he was still pretty good. He was talented as always. Brighton always produces talents. They're just a talent factory, man. And look at him. I wasn't even expecting him with Chelsea to be that impactful right away, and he already has 5 goals probably so far in the season, starting with the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, starting with the World Cup. Yeah. He's an amazing talent. I mean, I was lucky enough to see him play right near the lower stands. For anybody that wasn't following my Instagram account, I was doing some coverage as a fan, not really as a reporter. Hopefully we'll do that for World Cup next year. Hopefully that's my goal. Get a reporting job and cover the World Cup, interview these players, and watch the games from those stands. But no, he's an amazing player, man. I mean, the physicality that it brings in, combine that with his technical ability, his goal scoring ability, his playmaking, his height. I mean, he's a talent where I'm like, man, bro, Chelsea got a good one, and he's got competition. I'm gonna repeat these phrases: youngsters, agility, IQ, passing, whatever you want to do it. But the other thing I'm gonna probably mention a lot this year is just competition. And I think a lot of teams are figuring that out right now. You need competition. I mean, Chelsea got the lap. I think he was playing as a striker in that position, and João Pedro's in there too. Palmer, you have William Estevao. I know they got rid of Madueke, but he was on that squad too. Then
they're trying to sell Nico Jackson now. Yeah,
trying to sell Nicholas Jackson. It's just a lot of players now know, okay, competition. I got to step up. And you're going to see a lot of teams just stack with talent because that's just the way it is, especially with the amount of games that are being played, opportunities to come in. I think this is what I like about football right now is with the amount of games played. I don't like it just for the safety of our players, but I guess for more minutes being distributed to the players who just won't get those opportunities, I'm
Right.
happy that they're gonna, show out and showcase that. You know what? If this player's injured, I have to make my name, and come in and take advantage of it. But no, William Estevao was good. Palmer was good, and they in Chelsea, I think they have a real good shot, man, at winning this league. I still favor City. Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna ride or die with my pick. I'm not gonna chicken out of it unless like something bad happens. But and by bad I mean like they go on another poor run, like for 10 games. I'm like, yeah, guys, it's it. My prediction's done. Prediction was wrong, but I'm still gonna stand strong to it, and we'll see. But yeah, I know you before the show started. I know we were not gonna go on United because honestly, you might tell from this episode I'm low on energy because talking about Bruno and doing my research on Bruno just bored me. So I'm just like, I'm not even gonna mention Bruno or United. They put me to sleep.
That was literally
So,
the first thing you mentioned though in the podcast.
But no, I know, but I have no energy worth talking about Bruno. But you did bring up some breaking news. So I want to know, what is your breaking news, especially with what the Fab broke out.
Fab 5, Fabrizio Romano. Literally before getting on this podcast, like 5 minutes ago, Fabrizio just posted that Rasmus Højlund, I know he's been garnering interest from AC Milan, from Inter Milan, potentially looking at a loan with obligation to buy, but now it's Napoli that are actually interested, and apparently Antonio Conte, manager, wants Rasmus Højlund in Napoli. And currently they're discussing still a year-long loan deal, however, with a mandatory clause to buy. I'm not sure what exactly that price is. My guess is probably around the 40-45 million euro range that we've been talking about and that United has been discussing about. But yeah, that's the breaking news. Rasmus Højlund potentially to Napoli. There could be a here we go in the next coming days. That's definitely news to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, Højlund really disappointed me. I thought he would have been a player when you guys signed. Again, going back to these transfers, this is why I don't have faith in Sesko. Yeah, again, I might be wrong. I could United fans could be wrong. Could be wrong. Going back to what I said in the second episode, if I'm wrong, congratulations. I'd like to see Sesko succeed. I mean, a 6'4",
6'5"
player.
Slovenian.
6'5" Slovenian beast. My only concern is just the pressure playing for United.
Yeah.
How many minutes, the different leagues. Like, I want him to succeed, but it's just like, who knows? But I had those same positivity. Well, not same, but I had the reason I'm no negative now on Sesko is because I had those positivity thoughts on Højlund coming into the league because same thing, 6'3", young, potential, was scoring like 13, 20 goals with what was his former team? Was it no, not Atalanta.
It was Atalanta. He scored 9 goals in 32 Serie A games. Before that, I think it was with like Copenhagen or something.
Copenhagen, yeah. Like he has we saw the potential with his hold-up play, his pace, his ability to run in behind. I mean, Højlund, Haaland. We heard that conversation a lot.
Yeah.
But it sucks. It sucks to see.
It really sucks, and it's just that I think he was sort of failed both by the team.
He was
by us fans. I mean, like for the longest times, you just hear fans begging him to like just give him some service, man. You're not passing it to him. And also, like, whenever there was, like, a passing opportunity, it just felt like Højlund wasn't in the right positions either, or, like, he got there late. So that positional awareness was also a bit off. And, there's just a lot of things that unfortunately went wrong that I wish it didn't because, like, Højlund, he's super passionate about United. He loved United. That was his club that he supported growing up. And I really wanted him to succeed. I was also, I'm not going to lie, I was confused too as to why we were looking to sell him. I know he was very poor last year, but I also thought that it wasn't entirely his fault either. And if we're gonna go for Sheshko, then it just gives both Sheshko and Hoyland and potentially Xerxes too the perfect opportunity to compete and have depth pieces. I understand we're not playing in Europe; it's mostly just the league, so we're not gonna be playing in that many games. But I think it would have helped both of them out. Like it would have given Sheshko some time to acclimate to the Premier League, and then it also gives Hoyland another chance to like really go out there and prove himself with a better personal around him and Cunha and Mbumo, who are, looking to create chances, give you the ball if there's an opportunity for you to score. They're not going to ball hog, even though they have the ability to score a lot. They're also looking to assist you as well. So, like I was honestly excited with having both Hoylund and Sheshko as our number nines, and it's unfortunate that I guess
With Xerxes
Amarim
too. Remember,
didn't,
Xerxes on
and
that team
yeah,
too.
Xerxes as well. And it's
Xerxes
just,
was the one I was really more hyped for. I think Xerxes, because of the technical quality combined with his height and everything, and the fact that I think there's more potential and talent with him. I was, I was like, man, you have like 3 strikers per se that can actually work,
Yeah, and
So
Xerxes the more experienced ish because I mean, well,
yeah, he
he
plays on
was in that
the Dutch team.
2020 Bayern Munich team that won the Champions League, and then
Right, exactly.
also had an
So
amazing season with Bologna. He's 24. Hoyland came to us when he was what, like 20 years old.
21,
Sheshko is
21,
22.
22.
Now he's like 23, right? And Sheshko is 22. Like really young dudes that are super hungry to really prove themselves in the
Right,
Premier League, and like I think it would have been an awesome like competition, and
right.
just perspective wise, just like seeing them play and grow in front of our eyes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I guess that's just not the case anymore, and I wish Hoyland the best of luck, and hopefully he succeed. I really want to see him succeed like Scott McTominay did last year with Napoli. Hopefully he can also find his form, bang some goals. Hopefully Napoli can repeat again as Serie A champions.
yeah. And I'm gonna transition into like our final few segments before we have to head off. But I'm gonna transition to the midfielders because you reminded me of a midfielder on Napoli that has been killing it. And I'm just like, this is the beauty about football is sometimes you just need to be on the right team, the right moment, capitalize on the opportunity, and have that confidence and momentum for you to just build a name for yourself and just be at a starting spot. And this is for anything, even in basketball, whatever it may be, whatever sport you're playing. You said that Scott McTominay, you mentioned something about Scott McTominay, and I will talk about the transfer real quick. But man, he's still killing it. He's still killing it. He's still killing it with
He's a
Napoli.
Ballon d'Or nominee. Can you
He
like? I don't even think a year ago we
three
would have
years
like,
ago,
dude.
3 years ago, we were not talking about Scott. We were talking about Scott McTominay being probably the worst midfielder in the world. He should be a center back, and now we're talking about Scott
Center
McTominay on
forward,
the
not center
Ballon
back.
d'Or. Oh no no no
Center.
no 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 no! Before no. People were saying he was a bad midfielder
Oh yeah.
because
I remember.
like he was originally like a center back
Right.
and he didn't like move the ball forward or anything like that. And it was like, what's his spot? What's his position? And now when you're telling me he can score like 20, 30 goals, game winners, play make, assists, this is what I mean when I say football is just all about confidence. It's all about confidence, which is why I said like I know I said Sesko sucks, but it's like maybe he finds the right team in the right position, then maybe he'll be it. My fear is just that United might not be that team because
That's Manchester
United's
United.
gonna make him.
Just trust.
Yeah.
Just trust.
No, I don't know. But going back to Scott, man. I mean, shout out to him, man. Like, good on capitalizing your opportunities, bro. Like, can you? I gotta check up the stats, but I think he had more like 20 goals last year. If I'm not
Well,
like
in
15,
Serie A, I know he had like 13 goals and 4 assists.
13. Yeah,
I think
13
he was
and 4
one of the
assists.
top scorers as well. I don't know what his
And he was
specific
like Napoli's
stats were.
best player, arguably. They won the.
Oh
They
yeah,
won the league, right?
No, they gave him the MVP.
They have the
I think
MVP,
he was the Serie A Player of the Year too last year. Like, dude,
which is
talk
insane.
about-
Like, you leave United, and this is what happened. Scott, oh my God, United,
hold on.
United.
Scott, in our last year, like he was super clutch. Like I think he alone scored like
I know.
9 league goals. Bro, you don't know how many times he saved Ten Hag, bro. If it wasn't for Scott, I think he would have been Ten Hag would have been fired in like halfway through his second season.
You're right. Yeah, you're
Scott
right. I
saved us
remember
so
now.
many times.
He
Scott
did.
and
He
Bruno.
did. But
Scott
I
and
just want
Bruno.
to let people know, like, there was a moment in which we were not talking about him like this, bro. We just were
Mhm.
not. But quickly, you want to mention the transfer that
Of Scott McTominay.
Yeah, you said that United might that there's a loan, or is it with Hoyland that you mentioned it?
Oh no, it
Or
was with
like,
Hoyland. That was the loan.
oh, it was
Scott,
Hoyland. With Hoyland.
that was a permanent deal. We sold him for I think it
Permanent
was like
deal.
22 plus
22,
5 mil,
22.
27 mil euros. Which I mean that
Oh,
5 mil
I thought there
would
was
be
like some
there.
transfer rumor, like he might go to United again, which I was like, I don't blame you,
Nah,
bro. Like,
I think Scott is full on.
he's like, stay
I think he
away from
loves.
United. He's
I think
probably
he loves
laughing, like,
life in
he's
Italy.
like kicking up his feet right now, and like, oh, thank God I left that team.
enjoying the pasta,
Enjoying
the
life in Italy,
tomato,
enjoying the
the
good,
warm
healthy
life,
pastas,
the
enjoying
the
life.
the Napoli whatchamacallit, the ultras and the
The
passion
ultras.
that's there. I think he's enjoying life there, and I just
Yeah.
wish him the best.
Yeah. You know who else is enjoying life in Serie A?
Who
My
else?
boy Nico Paz. Nico Paz.
Oh,
Nico. I know, Kobe, we didn't get to
como
talk about
así?
this in episode 2, but there was a bid. Apparently there was a rumor that Tottenham sent out a bid, a 70 million bid to get Nico Paz, and there was also rumors that Madrid wanted to get him back after the amazing year he had in his first year in Serie A, and then this kid is crazy, man. This kid is insane. Like we saw the potential in him. I remember his first goal that he scored for us. I mean, it was a game winner against. Funny enough, again, it was against Napoli. He scored like the game winner in the group stage of the Champions League. That left-footed rocket. One of our top players from the academy, and now he's killing it in Cuomo. And the rumor was that Tottenham were going after him 70 million, but he's still waiting for Madrid. And if I'm him, yeah, better wait for Madrid. Come back.
I mean, it's only a 10
Come
million
back.
buyback.
You saw
clause.
the free kick he scored? It's a 10 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
we're gonna get him back. He's
Literally,
coming back.
the next summer, I think he's back with Madrid.
Yeah, you saw the free kick,
dude.
You know how badly for the last few years I've been telling all my there's usually periods in which there's a nation that produces like top talents. So like in the 2010s it was the Spain teams. In the early 2000s it was the Brazils and the Germans. In 2014 even there was a period where we were getting all the Germans. Like we were looking for German players. In 2018, thanks to Mbappe, French players. With the rise of Vinny and Neymar, we went for Brazil players. But I never felt like Madrid were going to go after like all the Argentinians.
Yeah.
With Argentina now winning the World Cup in 2022, now you got Franco coming in. You got Nico Paz like looking to come back. You heard rumors about Enzo Fernandez potentially. I'm just happy that we're getting Argentinians. I've been crying out for us to build a squad and core players with the Argentinians. For ours, keep the Brazilians in there as well with Endrick and Vinny. Obviously, you have the French core with Camavinga and Tchouaméni and Mbappe. And then obviously you want to keep your Spain core with Alvaro, with Dean Huijsen, and then have a few pieces here and there. So I'm just happy that Madrid are looking to get that core going, because our midfield is going to be really important for the next few years. And I think one of the things that we're missing, especially in that Madrid game, kind of going back now to the Madrid game from yesterday, was just that lack, and especially that Osasuna game as well. There was a lot of conversation about us missing Jude. I know I said it. There's a creator, shout out to Rupax. I think he's on TikTok a lot, and he's been an idol of mine that I've been watching for the last 3-4 years since I've been back on the app. But there might be the potential of just needing another Jude, and having like 2 Judes would just be incredible. And I think Nico Paz is that type of profile that we can use. So yeah, because he's got the physicality, he's got the playmaking, he's got the IQ, he's got the free kicks, he's got the hustle in him. Because I'm sorry, Argentinians just produce the biggest dogs in the world. Like, people don't think Messi's a dog. Just watch him play when he's on it. Obviously Franco, he's a dog. Enzo Fernandez, he's a dog. Rodrigo de Paul, he's a dog. Julian Alvarez, he's a dog. Who else? Di Maria was a dog when he played for Madrid and when he plays for Argentina. All the backline, they're dog. They're just a dog squad. They got that quote unquote dog in them. Like literally, they are dogs, and that's what I love about the Argentinian. Even the fans are dogs. Like, they're barking. You saw it.
Fans are crazy, dog. Jef and I, bro, we went to that River Plate Monterrey game. Oh my goodness, bro. The River
I was at.
I didn't understand Spanish, so I had my boy. He was translating that Spanish for me, bro.
There are
They're
some things that
creative.
they should have not been saying. They're
Right.
creative, they're loud, they're
Right.
energetic. My
My
biggest,
God.
which is why I'm hyped for World Cup, because when the Argentinians come in, I'm jumping in there, bro. I'm getting my jersey. I'm getting in there. I might blend in, but I was really disappointed I didn't get to go to a Boca game, because I would have. They're the better fan base. Like, no, sorry to River Plate fans. Like, I just, for me, Boca was just more crazier, but based on what I've seen, like, on the videos and stuff. But nah, man, like, going back to Argentina, like, I'm just happy that Madrid are gonna get dogs in there. We're probably even gonna bring more Argentinian fans to the Madrid, to the Madrid side. So, yeah, Nico Paz, man, good stuff. We'll be watching. You're a player to watch, I guess, for the rest of the year. Sorry, Kobe, couldn't get him, and you probably not get him. But yeah, Nico Paz, man, he's a player to watch out for, and I can't wait to see if we ever get him in the starting lineup with him and Jude, and maybe Fede as well. Chouameni, you get another playmaker, more physicality, more defense, more IQ, more free kicks, more technical quality players, technically gifted players, I should say.
Right.
So yeah. And finally, to close this off, going to talk about one player. We're talking about fans. We talked about passion. We talked about culture. One of the most polarizing things about, I guess, being a Madrid fan and playing for Madrid is dealing with the fan bases, the culture, the winning environment, right? And that's what United should be. There's a lot of hate going on towards Madrid usually these last years, in which, like, the booing of some players and the disrespect that some players have gotten over the years. And I think, yes, it's sometimes not warranted, like, especially if Cristiano's getting booed, if Bale's getting booed, like the treatment that he got, in his final stints and years at Madrid. But the one player I just really want to give credit to him, which is why he's the perfect example of why sometimes booing and a little bit of criticism and up the you-know-what really works for a team, because Tchouaméni, and I remember the game too. It was on January 16, 2025, after we got smoked 5-2 in the Copa del Rey final. The Bernabeu just completely booed the living hell out of Aurélien Tchouaméni, a player that I too was critical last year. But ever since that game, that day, that night, that moment, this dude has been on another level. We saw how he can play in the double pivot, he can play as a lone CDM, and then he can play in the 3-back, because he just has that quality and that IQ and that ability. But we saw it yesterday, man, when he's on it, locked in defensively. Man, I finally found the stats, so I want to bring this up. 71 passes completed, 95% pass accuracy, 4 out of 5 long balls completed, 6 out of 7 ground duels won, especially that one crucial one to give Mbappe the goal, to give to Goulet, and then that gave to Mbappe. 4 to 5 aerials duels won. That's coming back to his positioning at center back, or just winning the ball in the air. 5 interceptions, 3 tackles, and 0 times 0 pass. And I know that was against a team that just came out of the second division, but I'm just so happy to see him performing, and is arguably, from going to a player which we're talking about being sold, to a player that took the criticism, woke up and stepped up his game, and found the right manager that's going to have the trust and faith in him, and the fan base that's now going to back him. Man, he's probably going to be arguably our top 5 most important player for the way this season is going to be, because without him, Madrid are going to be way more weaker defensively, and he's starting to get into that that consistency and that level of like a Rodri, where like you need him to be the defensive player. You need him to be the one that's going to be distributing the passes. You need him to be the sacrificial one, just to track back and not do too much with the ball. But when he has the moments, boom, he clicks it. Aurélien Tchouaméni is going to be a top 5 most important player for Real Madrid this year, and arguably top 3. You can make the case for it. Number 1 is going to be Mbappe. I think number 2 is going to be Dean Huijsen. And I think number 3 is Aurélien Tchouaméni. The 3 most important players for this Xabi Alonso system and for the success of this year for Real Madrid. Yeah, you have anything to add? I know I went on a rant, because I just love how Tchouaméni just took the criticism.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I've always rated Tchouaméni, like, since he came to Madrid in like 2022. And I feel like in every one of these squads, like, he's been so valuable to you guys. And also he's very versatile too, because I know he's played in the center back position so many times, especially last year, to cover for how
Right.
thin you guys were in the back
Yeah,
line.
and yeah, right.
And yeah, I mean, just like he's always there. I've always seen him like in the midfield along with Fede Valverde, just like putting the team ahead and like
Yeah.
fighting for every ball. And like, I mean, he's had some poor games for sure, but
Yeah,
every
last season
time I
he
see
was that first half he
Yeah.
was bad. But the one thing that, and this is what I love, he'll take the criticism, which he's proven it since that January 16.
Mhm.
He got the boos. There was even people that were like cheering when he got subbed off, which is really messed up. But, like, I mean, he took the
Yeah.
criticism. He said, "All right, you want to criticize me? All right, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna
Mhm.
step up my level since that game." And he's gonna sacrifice, because a lot of criticism was not only his performances, but then his, like, he didn't want to play center back, but he did it.
Mhm.
And that, for me, there's players like Odegaard who couldn't do that for Madrid. Who else? There was players like even Danny Ceballos at first who didn't want to do that. There was players like Hakimi who couldn't wait and be patient and wait for the starting spot and capitalize on the moment. And Tchouameni did that.
Mhm.
Took his spot, and now he's like arguably one of the top 3 best CDMs in the world right now. I know it's 2 games in, but I look back to the Club World Cup too, which is, for me, it was a preseason as well. So, I think he's going to be up there, and shout out to him, and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add on? Well, I know Liverpool are playing right now, so we're recording this right as Liverpool. I haven't even. Do you know what the score is right now for
Yeah,
Liverpool?
let me check the score real quick.
Let me see.
It
I got it.
is
0-0.
0-0. 0-0.
0-0. This is the Isak, the great Isak
battle.
derby.
Yeah.
No, I say
Derby.
derby because everyone wants Isak. But yeah, he hasn't been starting. I don't even think he's in the squad.
Probably not.
Yeah, he's not even in the squad. So yeah, we'll see if Liverpool continue to run. They've been great. There'll be a time when we talk about Liverpool too, because obviously they're one of the favorites as well. But yeah, hopefully. What's your predictions for Newcastle versus Liverpool?
I don't know why. I feel like it ends in a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. All right. When we come back to, I'll write that. Write this down.
Hey man, it's just a prediction. It's just a guess. Like Liverpool could also win like 3-1. Like who knows? I mean they're in the top of a form, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's 2-2 draw for me.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think United. Do United play anytime this? I think they play on. Do they play on Wednesday?
Well, on Wednesday we play the second round of the Carabao Cup against Grimsby Town. Hopefully we smash them. Hopefully we get some guys that haven't been getting some minutes. Maybe they start. Give Cunha and Mbumo some rest, and then Burnley Saturday. Hopefully we can get that first win.
I'll be watching that game. I'll be watching that game.
You'll be up at 7 a.m. Pacific time, watching that.
Ooh,
7 a.m. in the
depends on
morning.
what I do, because Friday's my birthday, so we'll have to see whether I'll be awake at that time.
Yeah,
so we'll see what I'm doing. I think Madrid play on Saturday too, so it'll be like back to back. So Madrid, don't ruin my birthday weekend. Don't do that. Don't do that. You did it last time. They played a game on my birthday. It was like a Thursday or a Wednesday. I don't remember. And they like drew like 1-1 to Las Palmas, and I was so mad.
Oh,
Really
actually, I think I remember watching that game.
Yeah, you remember it was like a Vinny penalty with this long dreads, which I hate that he has. They're awful. But yeah, hopefully they do well. Madrid don't play. I know it's still early, so like we probably won't record another episode till like probably like midweek or probably Thursday. But we'll probably do our predictions. Any other breaking news, because transfer window is still open.
It's gonna be closing soon. It's like less than a week. So
yeah, maybe we'll do a recap on that, and then obviously Champions League will be coming up soon as well. So do our predictions for that. I'm excited. I know it's still early into
lots
the
of football, man.
Early.
Lots of football.
There's a lot to come out, and then World Cup's coming up. Then there's gonna be the international break, so we'll have international ball to talk about, World Cup and all that stuff.
So much things to cover.
Yeah, man. For United's sake, I guess I'll give my predictions. They lose like 3-0. No, I'm kidding. They'll probably win 4 or 5-0. Hat-trick by some academy player, and United do well.
Wait, against Burnley or Grimsby Town?
Grimsby Town, because they play on Wednesday.
Oh! I was like, damn, bro, a hat trick is crazy. Okay.
No, no. Obviously against Burnley, no. Oh no.
Nah.
I'm not favoring United for that. No.
That's crazy.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, thank you, Aritra. Thank you for anyone listening. You've been listening to the Alamo Podcast. This is episode 3. Thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of your day.
See ya.